By pressing play, you've been transported to a dimension where there will be no apologies given for the abstract and asinine comments made here by the host and their guests. With that being said, thank you for listening and enjoy your experience.
We are Chaos Magic.
We are the Nexus.
Are you ready?
For episode 51 of the most ridiculously random pop culture podcast in the 719. Yo, where the captions at? Yo, where are they? Where are they at? Where are the captions? Yes, guys, we're back again. As always, I'm your host, yours truly, Kels for Show, aka Kanye Westview. Join with me always is my bro host.
You know who it is, Roscoe Tinkoya. No AKAs.
And if you listen to the show, you already know what comes next. We got to give a special shout out and also let you know who also is here. That would be the boy, Daniel, with a D. Rojas.
It was Daniel all along.
It was Daniel all along. Hey, it was Daniel all along.
It was me.
So let's go ahead and get this show started off with Yo, what's poppin'? So Ross, what's been popping in the world of wrestling this last week?
Over the week, if y'all do watch AEW, you found out that the Big Show has no longer been with WWE. He's now going underneath his his true name, Paul White, and he announced that there was a Hall of Fame level wrestler coming to AEW, and said person that happened to be announced made their debut signing their contract on this Sunday's pay-per-view Revolution. That person being Captain Charisma, to some of y'all that don't know about it, that gimmick. Christian Cage, also more known for y'all just by his name, WWE name Christian. Yes, y'all saw him on at the Royal Rumble making his return debut wrestling after 7 years. Supposedly, WWE didn't have anything written for him wrestling-wise, so he called Tony Khan. They've been friends for the past 7 years. He said, I want to wrestle for y'all. Tony said, yo, you're one of my favorite wrestlers. One of the best anyway to me, this generation. Why wouldn't I sign you? So he got signed. Another big appearance came from Ethan Page. Known from TNA wrestling. Just left not too long ago. Holds the longest tag team title reign with one of his friends. But even more better, my favorite type of special appearance that made it in America wrestler. Mika Ishii. She was really actually known for me over this month from the women's tournament on AEW. But she made her American wrestling debut on a big company this Sunday. Loud Pop, she's known as the cutest wrestler. Even more great, Kelsey. Her gimmick actually portrays her real life. She's an idol that got kicked out the group, that still only did wrestling just to make her idol group popular, but was the least popular in the group. Got fired from the group, became a full-time wrestler, and uses her pop and singing idol stuff to actually be the most popular wrestler within the last 5 years.
I can't even mad at that. That's genius.
And not even that, Kelsey. She's full ass heel. Just think Angelica Pickles if she was Asian and loved to sing and dance, but yet still Angelica Pickles. So she did heel shit on the side.
Wait, Angelica Pickles wasn't Asian?
No.
Is that it?
She did have the bangs. No, Sting, I will say, his return to wrestling was in a cinematic match, but the boy could go. I ain't even gonna front. Kenny Omega retained his title from exploding barbed wire death match. Kelsey just seen them highlights of that.
Yeah, shit was blown up, literally.
Was
as
that
well
the
as
one that you were talking about where all the ropes and everything had...
There, 3 sides of the ropes are encaged with barbed wires, but not just encaged with barbed wires. They have trip wires, so every time you hit the ropes, explosives go off.
That's awesome.
30-minute match. So if there's no pin or submission within the 30-minute match, the ring has detonated All the explosives will detonate all off at that time. Last person to stand up is a survivor, is the winner. Kenny Omega got the pin, but the thing is, they beat him up because it was like it's still a minute left before the detonates go off. One of his friends that Moxley's had a rival with came in to help him because they beat the shit out of him because Kenny had a squad of people helping him. But the sad part is the detonation wasn't as good as it was, and they still played it off. But they're kayfabing it because storyline wise, Kenny Omega and them did all the maintenance for the barbed wires and the explosives. And the Young Bucks retained their title, and we're supposed to be having this Wednesday on Dynamite an Inner Circle War Table talk. Low-key set up for Chris Jericho to get kicked out the Inner Circle. Yes, Chris Jericho will be getting kicked out of the group he created, and MJF will be the new lead of the group.
Of course, that's how it normally always happens.
Paying a little homage to the Nation of Domination.
Yeah, and like many other stables, like when you have the up-and-comer take out the main honcho and all this, then, and third. But word.
Oh, and as well, Max Hardy lost his first quarter winning earnings to Hangman Page in their big money match, thanks to the help of the Dark Order. And that's all for wrestling this week.
Word. So by the time this podcast airs, you guys should have seen the South Park vaccination special that's dropping this Wednesday. I didn't know that shit was happening until I saw a commercial for it when I was at the bar drinking. I was like, thank you. And all the kids, and of course Butters are part of the group of the QTs. So you already know.
Oh, Butters about to be a Q?
He's a QT.
He's going to be the shaman?
Yo, I don't know.
They making Butters the shaman.
Of course, it's fucking Butters.
It's fucking
And I can't wait to see how they flip it.
And low-key, I'm not gonna lie, I forgot about that special too because I only saw the commercial once. And the first thing that went in my head was, oh, it's not going to Max. And then the second thing was in my head was like, oh, that shit going to Max the next day.
Exactly. And the thing too about that is like, with all this quote-unquote cancel culture, like I said on Facebook, I know South Park is one show that will never be canceled because it's going on like 20 years now. But at the same time, it's funny that people cry out cancel culture, but both sides cry about everything too, because there's going to be some people, once again in South Park, that are going to be made fun of, but they're going to watch South Park thinking they're going to be made fun, they're making fun of certain other groups, but then when it turns it upon you and the way you view, then you're going to be all uppity about that shit, but you got to have it both ways. It's comedy. It's subjective.
And that's what I also love about South Park is because whenever they go heavy political, Carmen's the right ringer. We know that for a fact. And
if it suit his purposes, he goes wherever he wants. Like,
but it's been, I'm gonna be honest, Carmen is America. He'll do whatever he wants to do for the gays. He'll fuck up everybody just because he not want to go to school.
Exactly, and it's all about how it affects him directly. And another thing too, because there's been more talk about trans women, I guess, being allowed to participate in women events, and it's just like one of the things. Like one day we have to figure out a way to make it work for everybody, but also South Park already addressed this issue because there's a lot of extremes. I'm not gonna get into all that shit right now, but I can see both sides, but before we get to a place where this is not even news, we have to handle it.
Well, technically...
So this is the beginning of a long road forward.
Technically, though, Kelsey, because of me being the deep, dark nigga on the YouTubes, there's already a trans person that's declared never to do enter into women's contests and still enters into men's contests.
Well, that's...
Just because... and this crazy part about it is only reason why I know about this situation is because a so-called big YouTuber made a whole lie, photoshopped and everything, lying about this person saying that they're doing women's sports, even though this person has a whole YouTube and TV show. I mean, not YouTube, whole YouTube, and the week before this video went up, had a whole interview explaining that they never will be entering into women's contests because they personally, yes, they do feel like a woman and all that, but they know of how they were born and whatnot, that they don't feel like, they still feel like they should just just to be on the safer side, to not even make the whole argument, still only compete in men's competition.
Yeah, that's one tidbit of the overall conversation. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about one individual particular. It's about the overall, and that's one person in a whole,
as well as
whole umbrella of things. But we don't have time.
There's also
to get
the
into
Russian
that.
boxing, the Russian trains boxing.
It's a lot of that shit. Yeah. So moving on from that to some DC news, the Snyder Cut has released the chapter titles. It's gonna be 6 chapters in a 4-hour-long movie. The first chapter is called "Don't Count on It, Batman." Chapter 2 is "Age of Heroes." Chapter 3 is "Beloved Mother, Beloved Son." Chapter 4 is "Change Machine." Chapter 5 is "All the King's Horses," and Chapter 6 "Something Dark." And that shit does drop next week on the 18th. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to finally see this shit so we can stop talking about it.
Which chapter is Cyborg's origin?
Beloved mother, beloved son, because Cyborg's mother dies in his creation.
Okay. I mean, they had like 3 good titles that could have been chapters that could have been dedicated to Cyborg's origin.
Yeah, so yeah, that's happening. Superman and Lois is officially getting a season 2 after only 2 episodes.
Well, not gonna lie, them 2 episodes is lit.
Yeah, they cool. They cool. If you haven't watched that yet on the CW, definitely check it out. Speaking from one Superman to a former Superman, Henry Cavill, after hearing the news that he won't be playing Superman because DC Warner Bros. Is going in a new direction, he got on the phone with Marvel Studios. So potentially we will see Henry Cavill in a future MCU role, hopefully sooner than later. My top 3 picks for him will be Hercules, Gladiator, or Hyperion. And like I've been having conversations with people, I would just love it to see Marvel do the Justice League better than DC. And if Henry Cavill actually played Hyperion, which is just an allegory for Superman, they deliver a better Superman or even a darker Superman because they are low-key bad guys when they're introduced. Because Snyder always tried to do that, but like leave it to Marvel to have the Justice League in an MCU movie basically and show them this is how you do a dark, gritty Justice League movie because that would be the mirror version of the Avengers. And also another thing too, Captain Marvel 2 is looking for a Michael B. Jordan type to play a supporting role in the movie.
A black?
Yes, a young, black, attractive man. Some people are speculating, he might be Richard Rider, or maybe that's going to be Blue Marvel, but I don't know. I just know that's what they're looking for because the main cast is going to include, of course, Carol Danvers, Brie Larson, Monica Rambeau, Spectrum, and Kamala Khan. Yeah, Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. Also, I'm pretty sure Sam Jackson will be in that as well. And then you have another male lead, because I guess low-key the other male lead in that was Coulson and Talos. So it'll be interesting to see what Marvel does, because they're looking for that character. Melissa McCarthy is cast in Thor: Love and Thunder as, she's going to play Hela.
Damn, that's hella cool.
Wait a second, what?
Yes, because before anybody was like, Hela's dead. Like, no, because also Matt Damon was casting as well.
Matt Damon.
Because if you remember, let's go back to Ragnarok. What was happening in that movie in Asgard? They had the whole play, and yes, Loki was played by Matt Damon. Thor, Chris Hemsworth's brother played him. So she would be playing Hela in this play role, and I wish I didn't know that because that would have been funny, but no. So it's going to be a retelling of the things that happened in Ragnarok.
Okay.
And of course, she's going to be Melissa McCarthy. She's probably going to stumble, fall over some shit, but hey, I'm here for it. And the X-Men movie reboot in the MCU has a working title, and it's called The Mutants. And that's a little Easter egg because before Stan Lee came up with the name of the X-Men, he was going to call the book The Mutants. So that's one of the things, too, that took people by surprise because they're not necessarily fast-tracking it, but they're working on it earlier than most people speculate. Because, I mean, if you're already looking out for the Fantastic Four through the future, the next obvious franchise within a franchise would be the X-Men. So you might as well go ahead and get the ball rolling so you can start playing those Easter eggs throughout the MCU. So, yeah, so as soon as we start getting, like, Fantastic Four casting, we probably will start getting these X-Men characters So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Of course, that's cool without saying. And then YWDC 815 is our podcast playlist for the month of March. Couple of albums I listened to personally over the weekend were Zara Larson's new one, Poster Girl. And if you like up-tempo, poppy white girl music, that's an album for you. Charlotte Lawrence dropped her album, Charlotte, and she's more like indie kind of vibes, like definitely some lo-fi type shit. I enjoyed that. Then also, the boy. Before I get to the boy, Adult Mom dropped the album called Drive, and it's a little sadder, indie, folky type of album. But the boy, the Six God himself, the light-skinned Messiah, Drake dropped that Scary Hours 2. And man, it's scary in these streets for these rappers. Because when that boy Aubrey began to them bars, like he did Lemon Pepper Season featuring Rick Ross, that shit, now, this boy said, I be at parent-conference meetings with your spouse, and they ask me, do I know Nicki and Beyonce? Of course. And you can't swear. Then this nigga had the audacity to say, I'm coming up to pick my son up with the Secret Service, black SUVs that defeats the purpose of having Secret Service. I'm just like, dude, why do you have it? But everybody know they come in with a whole, all right, Drake stunning these niggas. You in a whole other tax bracket. Certified Lover Boy, his next album supposedly be dropping next month, and I can't wait because some of these songs off this shit is gonna be the anthem of the summer, and we're gonna be here getting messy all in the streets to that shit. I can't wait. I look forward to that. Breaking hearts, but more importantly, I'm gonna be breaking my own. But anywho, Maroon 5, my favorite band, dropped a new single with Megan Thee Stallion called "Beautiful Mistakes." Ow. And that shit's cool. No Wrong, Charlie XCX in that 1975, let me correct myself, dropped a single called Spinning. Justin Bieber dropped a whole new track called Hold On, which I didn't dig at first, but upon further review or listeners, I dig it. It's definitely going to be doing some shit. And Middle Kids dropped a new single called Stacking Chairs. I can't wait for it.
Oh, they stacking chairs?
They stacking chairs, nigga. Like a concerto semblance or some shit like that. Or like at the end of match when they throw all the chairs into the ring. Whatever that shit's called. That's what it's called. And then Neon Medusa. Yeah, I said that right. Neon Medusa, for some reason that sounded wrong coming out. It's the latest single by The Midnight. And it rocks. It rocks so hard. So hard. So of course, guys, if you're looking for new music, you know where to find it. Always, we're here for you. We got your back. And your ears. Your hearts and your minds if you give us a little time. Yes, and that's how you change the world, baby. That's how you change the world. And with that being said, we're moving on to Yo, We Geeking Out.
We Geeking Out.
And we about to geek out about the first Marvel Disney Plus series that the whole internet has been in a whole tizzy about since the beginning and course to the end. And that's none other than WandaVision. Where do we begin? Fuck it, wherever you want to. Alright, let's just jump to it. Basically, we all know we enjoyed the series. But
most definitely.
Let's just get it out the way. Marvel are the biggest trolls since 6ix9ine and Lil Nas X. They purposely...
Did you say Lil Nas X?
I didn't mean to, but if that came out, damn, that should have been my AKA. That shit's good too. But they came out and allowed us to believe whatever we believed and led us into a direction where we all got hyped. We all had our theories. And I don't like being the theory conspiracy guy. But everybody else was doing it. Like, why not have fun?
Oh, yeah.
To the fact that my expectation was so high. That's why when they weren't met, I felt some type of way. But then I had to pull myself out of it because, like I tell people, you can theorize all you want to, but you can't get mad at the final result because it's all about the writers and the creative team. They created what they created. It's not what you wanted. It's what they're going to give you. And once I got past that real quick, I was like, oh yeah, the show ended the way it's supposed to end. It could have been handled better. But I love how Marvel was like, yeah, that's Quicksilver from the X-Men universe. No, it ain't. So all y'all theories and all this shit that y'all thought was going to start popping off in this series is not going to happen. Oh, we're going to give this little Nexus, little Easter egg in this commercial? That shit had nothing to do with nothing. Yet. But we know it's gonna go somewhere because they do everything purposely. And either, man, what about you two, Daniel Ross? What were one of the things that you felt Marvel trolled you, but you had to laugh at the end?
I definitely felt like the biggest troll was the astral. What was it? The aeronautic technician.
Yes.
Yeah, because we've been speculating about that, and of course, if it's Monica Rambeau, it's a fucking Skrull.
More or less, it's like, well, everybody's like, no, it has to be. No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Just because we wanted it to be somebody doesn't mean it had to be.
There's that meme that was going around where it's Captain America, and he's like, "So you heard a WandaVision theory that didn't turn out to be true."
Yeah, like y'all got us. Like even like with Monica or the actress that played Monica was like, yo, I can't wait to see y'all's reaction to who the aerospace engineer is, this, that, and the third. We was like, oh, it's gonna be somebody important. It was important in the overall aspect of what it sets up for her character moving forward. But to being geeks and fans, we wanted it to be somebody we could like, oh yes, but at the same time, if we guessed it, then it's not that big of a surprise. What about you, Ross?
Yeah, I'm gonna tag on to that because low key, just like falling down that rabbit hole of like theories of it could be a setup for the Fantastic Four movie, or we could get a setup for the X-Men to be in the universe after the whole Pietro thing, only to find out Pietro wasn't really Pietro. But my favorite one, which would probably happen the day before, which would be, wait till you see who the special guest appearance is on the final episode. Only for it to be the same person that's been on the episode from episode 1. And I'm just saying,
and who would that be?
It'd be Vision playing himself.
Exactly. Because Paul Bettany said he actually got to work with somebody that he never worked with before. And he basically told everybody he was referring to himself, but people didn't want to believe the obvious. Like I believe Comment Explained says, like, the thing with Marvel is normally the simplest explanation is what's going on. There. And he said it out his mouth. He never...
And what's even more hilarious is like, we take the simplest things stated in a TV show, but won't take the simplest things stated from the actor playing said TV.
Because he's never worked with himself.
Exactly.
And the thing that made it even more hilarious is there was probably people on the internet just like cross-referencing every Marvel person.
Oh yeah, they do that.
And just throwing out
who has he never worked with?
He never worked with Magneto, so we might get Magneto. I'm like,
Jeff Bridges from the first Iron Man.
Yeah, but even with the Magneto thing, I was like, but that doesn't even. Why would Magneto just come out of
nowhere to declare that he's her dad? After we just got done seeing that she been living with her dad.
And Marvel in the comic books have made it a point to retcon her being mutants. I won't believe Magneto, even if they do bring in the X-Men, but then let me retract that. Because the X-Men probably won't debut officially in future as a squad to maybe 4 years, 3 years.
It's going to be about 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, 3 to 4 years. So they might, in the comics, retcon it back. Because you know how they like to retroactive fit. Make the movies and the comic books be more linear or mirror each other. So unless they do that in the comic book soon, I don't see them doing that in the movie. Unless they already have a plan to retcon that back in the comic books. And yeah, like that shit had me like, yo, y'all dirty bitches. And then the whole theory about Ultron being in, because I guess on some IDW pages they said Jay Spader was cast. But also that was Marvel being cheeky.
Yeah.
Like the same way they had like the Lego, like people look at Legos and toys, be like, oh, this is gonna happen in a movie because of toys hit. But a lot of times, toys is just for toys. Like back in the day, Batman has a solar reactor costume toy, so he has to fight Superman in space and like no, it's just a toy. Because they had the Hulk busting out the Hulk Buster armor for Infinity War Endgame as a Lego set. Never fucking happened in the movie, so that made fans think that it was gonna occur as well. And also like that, Marvel came out the gate and told us, as soon as it said, yo, WandaVision is happening, it's about Wanda and Vision, it's going to be based on some sitcom shit, and Doctor Strange is going to pop up because it's going to lead into his second movie.
Right. Which we all thought the whole time.
Yeah.
I was literally just expecting Doctor Strange to pop up, so when he didn't pop up, I'm like, they could just cut his scene out.
Or something, I was like, why did y'all... It's not like we made that up. Y'all literally told us he was gonna be in it. So it's like,
But see, the more,
and we all thought it was gonna be at the
but
final
see, the
episode,
more
but it's
hilarious about that is it's just like now since the few people's like, oh, we didn't get the Doctor Strange scene. Oh, there's a secret rumor that we're getting another episode. I'm
like,
like,
10th episode.
No.
And it's
because if we're getting a 10th episode, Marvel would give us a fucking 10th episode.
And then
they
it's
won't
not a
say
secret.
It's 9.
And that's the thing too, like anything is also possible. They could be a little sneaky. There's a possibility that we might get something, but given the information that we have, it's highly unlikely. But at the same time, I'm not gonna be mad. All right, thank you.
I'm not gonna
be that shit.
I'm not gonna be mad, but yet also I'm just sitting there like outside of like the high school original movie TV series, like your real popular TV series, The Mandalorian, 9 episodes. It's just like so. It's just like, why am I not gonna think that Marvel's gonna take the same jump off? Less is more.
But for a second, can we talk about the memes that have come out of this?
Right
been
before we get to
memeing
that, the meme, like another thing too is like Agatha was behind it the whole time, and guess what? There was no Mephisto. There didn't need to be. I never thought personally that he was behind any of this.
Right.
And that's cool, because save him for something bigger.
And technically, Ralph was her husband, but it wasn't Ralph as Mephisto. It was just, she took over a dude's body.
Yeah, boner.
She went
Ralph
full
Boner.
Wonder Woman 84.
Yo.
And the one thing that I can give is the person not listening to YouTube was heavy spoiler. He was like, yeah, Manifest. He's like, we could get Manifesto and Nightmare, but he was
Mephisto.
like Mephisto.
Not to be the nerd who pushes up his glasses and goes, actually, that's good.
But yeah, Mephisto and Nightmare, he was like, it would be kind of to him, he was like, it would be a waste for them to introduce him into this WandaVision right now, especially how it's written. Save it for something bigger.
It had no place, really.
Literally, that's what he was kind of saying. But he was like, but I'm only going to say these theories because this is what everybody's theorizing. So, and due to the fact of how heavily linked all of this is together and whatnot. So I'm just like, all right, cool. Because like one theory was Nightmare and Mephisto was the souls of Billy and what you call it. But he was like, I'm not
that would be just out of the blue too.
And like another theory dealing with Agnes was that the fact that Agnes only wanted the boys just to steal their souls for some purpose.
But they didn't have souls because they were created out of nothing.
But he was like, I'm only saying this because it's the internet saying it. And I'm just like,
yeah, and the thing too, like, Marvel didn't promise us anything. They never said. Everybody jumped to their own conclusions and a lot of people got mad. I'm not, like I said, I was a little bit disappointed in some aspects, but not enough to be like, this shit is whack. This shit is like, no, this shit was still good.
I loved it.
Exactly, I still love.
I'm gonna be honest. My favorite thing was when you text me and said, "Oh, the people gonna be mad." Yeah. And the first thing I looked at it like and watched them with Troy, and I'm just like, "Oh yeah, those that ain't really just like sensible." I'm like, yeah, they gonna be pissed off.
Because they never said it was gonna be Reed Richards. They never said shit. We all had our own expectations.
You've also got the people who are like, the finale didn't hit the way I wanted it to, so the show is bad.
No,
but it did what it came to do.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the people that the show didn't have enough action, so the show's bad. And I'm just like, because this wasn't a show to be built up on action.
But which one of you would told me it was the same thing with Bruce Banner, the Edward Norton one?
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite one?
Where at the end of the movie, he's in a cabin, and it has that days without incident.
Oh yeah, I brought
and
that
it goes
up.
0, but he has it under control.
Exactly, and all up to like the end of WandaVision when Wanda was just in the middle of the cabin. I was like, what if that's the same cabin Bruce Loki just told her about? And down her another theory, what if that's Wonder Mountain? Ooh, because we know
that was Canada.
Yeah, and we know how that connected.
Shit, maybe it was Russia though.
It could have been or Sokovia.
It might have been Sokovia.
But yeah, so I did have my issues with the finale, but they weren't major. It's just like little things. For example, like there was no ramifications for Wanda personally. Like she just gotta leave, and I was like, ooh, like, but she has to kind of be responsible. At least they could have had a scene where she's like, "Yo, guys, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to control this so I can make it no. She just
Can I hit you with that counterpoint? It's that small. All of that was that small. Just her, Monica.
Monica doesn't have the right to like. All right, you go like no.
Which is even more hilarious because it's just like if you look at it four ways, it's like the FBI was too busy locking up Hayward to just be like, we gotta stop.
Right.
They ain't too busy locking up one man.
Imagine it this way: it's Jimmy and Monica, and Jimmy goes, "Why are they chasing her?" He goes, "Because they have to." Because she's what this city deserves. Or what needs, but not what they deserve. And she's out there on her fucking bat cycle. She is the Scarlet Witch.
Yo, cause Monica, man, Wanda, like I said, like, she just left. And then it's like, cause I've been reading comic books for years. I'm always on the side of heroes. But now I think the long con is for them to paint her to not necessarily to be a villainess or to be like, like moving forward. No, they're like, see, this is why we need programs like SWORD. That's why we need to build robots like the Vision. AK could be groundwork for Sentinels. Because what do we do when she does this again? Not say she did it on purpose, but what do we do when superpower people don't give a fuck? Yeah, or what do we do when superpower people don't give a fuck and we can't do nothing to stop them? Because nobody tried to put her in jail because she's too powerful. Nobody could, even Doctor Strange, because they said the Sorcerer's Brain isn't as powerful for her.
I just realized something.
Like, who watches The Watchmen? Like, how do you handle that as a human? So they paint that angle because this is not the first time she's done this. And it's not the first time that superpower people have done this.
Now I just realized this. Is WandaVision basically set up to say, what do we do with people with superpowers? Mental illness?
No, but that's the thing with Wanda. But with Wanda, same thing we talked about in House of M. Emma was like, people find out a mutant did this, then we're all fucked. But also, she was easier to control before. Now she has the Darkhold. Now she's learning actual practical uses for her magic.
Through the darkness.
Through the darkness. She's not gonna be able to be controlled.
She won't be. And
all she needs is a good doctor.
My only sad part about the Darkhold, which I will say is, they reconned it. I low-key wanted at least a little, like, just a farewell homage for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Nah, they won't do that shit.
And I know they wasn't going to do it.
And plus, we still need to see that shit. For all we know, all them niggas died because we didn't finish the fucking series.
All we know, they probably tried to teleport that Darkhold and everybody forgot about it. And then it actually...
I had a conversation with Jackie about that, too, about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because there was two different Darkholds, too. So that's why... That's one part of mine. It might be two divergent timelines. So in the Loki series, you might find out, like, oh, that's a different timeline. The timeline where Loki took it and stole it might be the actual timeline of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. currently, because even they fucked around with time travel and shit too.
Well, multiple, because it was a season before whole season. An end part of one season that led to a whole other season that then had to go back and do that shit for a whole other season.
Yes, and the thing too, because the word is on the street that Marvel is also working on a Thunderbolt series of movie. What's a better way to implement Thunderbolts is having a superhuman threat like a Wanda or somebody else that normal people can't fuck with. So we need a team of people that's gonna go in and do what we can. But yes, as this because this gonna come up again. Because then you gonna have that human like Hayward or whoever's next. I'm like, no. What if everybody's not Captain America? Everybody's not a Thor. What do we? And this is the first time, like I said, being in the comic book world. Like, yeah, I'm kind of silent and seeing that point of view because now we see it. Lucky for you, she decided to close that hex. That's on her. If she wanted to, we couldn't do anything to stop that.
But my only other question on that too is like, I know it was Jimmy Woo that sent that out, got the help, but it's just like Hayward said, "Fuck all the rest of that shit," and did not want to work with anybody else. And you just like,
oh my god, Hayward was white shirts. We should have shot that bitch in the head.
Oh, Hayward was right, and they use it just like the Cyclops was right joints. Oh, them shit was about to be.
Those people in town were like, so she tortured. Who does she affect?
Hayward. If we get a Hayward testimony and we get the real people actually saying like, I agree with Hayward.
This
setup gonna be lit.
See, and then you create your own villain because like I was in that town. y'all don't know who.
Y'all don't know what
that
we
feel like.
what we experienced. Y'all
Yeah,
don't
and
know what
nothing
we
is
feel
like-
like.
nothing happens.
And it's the Sokovia Accords all over again.
And there's no slap on the wrist.
No.
Not trying to make it political. That's the same way black people say, see, that's what we want. Accountability. We want police, but we want to be held accountable for what we are. We want heroes, but there needs to be something they need to be police. So when they do some shit, they're
I
reprimanded.
can't believe this.
I'm just saying.
But also, can I hit you with 4 words? The ship of Theseus.
Yo, that was so.
My head hurts.
dope.
I just realized that I'm Team Iron Man now. That if we talking it like this in the Civil War,
But here's the thing. We went back and rewatched Civil War. Me and my roommates. Iron Man was right the whole time.
And the only reason
But I
Steve was
was-
felt the type of way because
Steve is Steve, and I love good.
his boy Bucky was part of that shit. He was right under the mess. Like, there's a way you could do it that both sides win.
Like, I'm gonna be honest. The way Cap did say, like, "Yo, we expose our secret identity. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, these people are gonna do whatever they want.
Sure,
we're not
but
gonna be there
Iron
all the time."
Man was going through it from the beginning.
But he also is a drunk.
And he never had a secret identity.
He gave up
That's
being a
true.
drunk.
But I think there's a way you could do both. You could still have your secret identity, but if you fuck up,
Sure.
you could be reprimanded and keep that shit. So they could have found a middle ground.
They should go back and
Found the middle
rewatch
ground.
the Civil War because in the comics, Cap was right.
Yeah.
Cap was always right.
In the movie, Iron Man was right.
Oh yeah.
And he had that lady come up and be like, "Yeah, my son. Oh, you guys don't give a shit about that, do you?
And that's the
You
one
want
thing.
your big expensive battles, don't you?"
Oh, yeah, because that's the thing too. Cap never experienced with that. Tony Stark bombs were killing kids like Wanda. That's part of Wanda's origin. Is some Stark tech. So he already had that guilt, and this is further took his character development to another level. Because now you're like, no, we need to
and
start doing this.
I'm not even gonna lie. It even adds more layers to when Cap was like, "She's a kid," and Tony was like, "So what? She killed people." It was this, that. It was like, what if she doesn't train her abilities? Ooh.
And that shit happened.
Look at what
again.
happens again.
Exactly, but like you bring up the ship Theseus, like I was like that's what I love too about the show. Like,
Yes.
I'm not the biggest Vision person, but I know who Vision is, and of
Vision
course
is great.
the Vision fight with Vision would not end in the fisticuffs or
No!
lasers. It would
It's
end
like-
with a philosophical debate.
Which Doomsday Clock in DC tried to do that with Superman and Dr. Manhattan. And Dr. Manhattan, sure, I can understand. Not necessarily Superman,
Superman.
but 2 Visions.
It's hard to see
He
Superman
goes-
because I've never seen Superman that fucking smart.
But that's
Batman
right.
might have been a different take.
Batman who's a detective, but Superman being like, but what about morals? No, that wasn't it.
Hey, all right. So on your point, like there are certain iterations of Superman where he is intelligent because he had.
It depends on the writer.
Yeah, he can be
Yeah, it
super
depends
smart.
on the writer,
But
yeah.
also in that, I didn't read it like that. I was like, I took it as Superman was like, nigga, I ain't got time to talk to you right now. I got people to save. After I save these people, let's talk. Then I took it as Dr. Manhattan being like, oh, he doesn't care about what he wants to protect people.
Sure, but then that whole debate they had, I was talking.
See, I don't remember the debate because that's what I was focused on.
But
Superman being like the Cap, like, all right, when we beefing, bro, but I need to save
But
people. Then we can talk.
of course, Vision versus Vision.
Yeah.
And he said, I came here to kill Vision. And that's what he said.
My
They
favorite-
are keeping the data from you, my white brother.
First off, no.
Oh yeah,
Before
we
he,
gotta get to that. Beef.
before he said that, it's just like, I'm here to kill the true Vision, and he's like,
let's go talk.
And then he's like, I'm not the true Vision, and then he powered up that beam, and he was like, and then lowered it down. I was like,
Well, that's the
wait,
thing.
you ain't about to fight me, and he was like, I need you to elaborate.
That was
like-
amazing.
And the first thing in my head was like, duh, because the real Vision who doesn't remember shit would just be like, wait, what?
And also, he wasn't a real Vision because we found out in a previous episode, like he was just the construct of the remnants of the Mind Stone in Wanda made quote unquote real in the hex. And then he was looking at White Visions like, yo, you know about the ship Theseus? Like,
Of course I do.
I'm not about to get into all that, but basically, if you replace enough parts of anything, does that mean the ship that's there is the ship, or is it the pieces that were taken
Right.
and remote?
But even if you just have the helm, is that the ship of Theseus?
Exactly. So, and that
And he goes, hold up. He goes,
what?
Hold on a second. I gotta sit down.
And then
My head's spinning.
He was like, wait, I don't recall. Wait, we're the same? And he's like, yeah, I have memories.
And he goes, well, they were wiped from me.
And he's like, so, Grace, I'm not even gonna lie. Just hearing this, like, I'm I am a body with no memories. I'm a memory with no body. And he was like, wait, what the fuck you about to do? I'm like, bro, you're electronics.
He went big.
He's like, you're electronics. You have stored data. They're just blocking the data from you.
Alt Control Delete, because Vision is the most technologically advanced weapon, android, sensor, you want to call it, in the world. So of course, normal human beings wouldn't know how intricate his data is in his systems, because they explain it basically like our cells in our body has the genetic makeup for us as human beings. So if you break that down, every fiber in Vision's body restored his memory. They just found a way to shut off the bulk of it for the most part. But when Hex Vision touched that and rebooted him, and I think low-key put some of that Mind Stone energy in it, it reactivated or restarted, re-download his memory. So basically, White Vision remembered everything up to his death. But now he has the memories.
But I am Iron Man.
Yes.
I do have one random question, because I do know he did kind of, because I'm with you, I think he implemented the Mind Stone a little bit to him.
Yeah.
Do you think that the Mind Stone shit that he implemented, like the part of the reason why he dipped out is like he might have slowly gotten some of non-Vision's memories too? Because Loki, I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, he could have had like all of Hex Vision's memories put into him too, because it's the Time Stone. It's wonky. They can rewrite it. But now that he has a body, he has his memories. But that's one thing he's also still lacking is like the soul or the heart. So now, moving forward, is this Vision gonna regain that, or will he just be more of an android in a sense?
I will say,
and have to regain it slowly over time.
I did, after rewatching this second time, seeing the non-body Vision basically have dropped a tear, and like, does a robot, which throws into the joint, does a robot have a soul?
That was part of the comic book. That was like, wasn't that the name of the story? Can an android cry, or a sensoid cry or something? I think it was
Do androids cry?
But one thing I just realized too, I know androids are I know Vision's a whole robot, no real mind and whatnot, but yet Wiccan is able to sense whatever his dad's thinking and saying.
That's because he was part of the Hex, and the Hex was created from the Mind Stone. So that Vision did have his own quote unquote mind, but also Billy is made of magic too, so it was Vision. So it might not even be like him. He's just reading the magic, but
because of that magic, because he did say he could sense everybody, and since everybody was underneath that magic spell, just like.
And he couldn't sense Agatha because she was able to block that shit.
But also he couldn't sense Agatha because she put the rooms, in the house.
She blocked that shit. She knew what she doing. And before we get to the best part of this whole series, just real quick, want to say that bitch's costume.
It was
fan-fucking-tastic.
The pure fact
even that little tease of the crown, I was like, oh, so when she power up, she gonna energy crown, but no.
And the pure fact that they modernized it, I was expecting the whole dress, and they was like, nope, we're gonna give her the long jacket, but yet when you see the
power
silhouette,
girl titty window, all right, cool.
but when you see the silhouette, it's gonna look like the full dress. I'm like, all right, and it's not a real full crown, it's a thorough crown that still kind of isn't fully really there, but yet there.
It's the headdress. It's like
seen it because
they teased it.
They teased it and seen it.
Yo, alright, so
her whole costume was MCU as fuck, but also done properly.
Exactly. And now, the best part of this shit though. I once again will always love my people. I love black people so much. Thank the Lord for Black Twitter. Cause the memes
that came out of this,
motherfucking memes had me in tears. This whole fucking week.
My favorite one, you posted.
And real quick, I like the evolution of the memes, because if you're on your phone all day, you can see where it starts and now it just evolves. But go ahead, David.
My favorite meme is Vision with the gold chain, smiling, saying, "That baby don't look like me, Maury."
And then it's the picture of Baby Vision from like episode 4. I'm saying like, oh my god, how did they do this? Like within like 5 hours, Because it all started with the Vision and the turtleneck with the chain. Talking about, oh, me and Wanda don't talk no more.
What was his name?
Vision.
Vision.
Vishawn. I was like, God, ain't had a do-rag on it, had the chain, had the grill.
Man, that was wilding with
I was
that
like,
one.
yo, it was like one picture is like, we're so creative and it's so hilarious. Because if you're not part of the culture, you don't get the jokes. But it's just
so
there.
fucking good.
Then it evolved into like that baby don't look
That's
like.
because we've all like, well, most of us, I don't know about all the listeners of your show, but we all watched Maury, and there was that one baby that showed up looking exactly like a dude who was like, "That's not my baby, Maury."
I'm like, yo, that is.
And he's like, "The test came back positive."
Yo, what if they did that shit, animated that shit with Vision running, but instead of running, he like fades through.
He went.
He
goes,
just phased out.
I am Vision and burst
Yeah,
in the
like,
ceiling.
because I can't pay child support. He's a synthezoid.
But that's the thing. He doesn't phase backwards. He just kind of phases down.
Yeah,
through
like,
the ground.
I'm out. Deuces. Like, yo, that shit was funny. Or
The Agatha all along ones too, where she's like at the end she goes, "I killed Sparky too."
Oh, there's like, yo, and I'm responsible for the Snyder cut. What was, oh shit, there was another one that had me dead. It was like, oh, I greenlit M. Night Shyamalan's Avatar movie. I was like, yo. No, I wrote season 8 of Game of Thrones. That one was like, this bitch, I want to hate you.
Oh my god. Like that's the best thing. The internet can be good and bad, but the memes that they make, and there's someone, I don't know who they are, they're like, got it.
Yes, or like when Color Vision had White Vision headline, like, oh, they keeping the data from you, my brother, my white brother. I was like, yo,
That one was
the kid they call off at, I was like, yo, y'all niggas stupid.
There was also the one like when you order it online and it's Vision how he looks, and when it arrives and it's him in the Halloween costume.
Yes. Like, yo, you get that with Etsy or Wish.com. It's like, oh my god, that shit was so great. It's like, it's the little things in life, like a fucking meme. I'm like, that's how creative. No offense to the whites out there, but y'all, I don't know when the last time y'all came out with a fire ass meme. I'm just saying though.
Also, there's this one where it's Agatha or Agnes in, I want to say, the first episode, and she goes, "Oh, I know what you need. I'll have it done in a snap." And this is the lady going, "Oh, what?" Because we know about
Thanos and
the snap.
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, one of my other favorite ones is somebody was like, me watching WandaVision after the first 2 episodes, and it was like, oh, this shit's getting weird.
Yeah,
Also, there was the Community one, because there was when Abed was making his movie and Shirley was going to shut it down. The people were like, "I heard the real scenes are the deleted scenes, and the deleted scenes are the real scenes."
yeah, no, I think that was about the Snyder Cut.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
you're
it
right.
was.
It's in my brain, and I can't get it out, and I hate it.
Yo. Yo, at the end of the day, the show was a blast. Yes, I'm going to say it was marvelous. And if this is what we about to get moving forward, I can't wait. People are going to say what they want to say, but at the end of the day, it's Marvel. We're going to watch it. If you don't want to fuck with it, that's your choice. But understand it's a global phenomenon. Every day when it premieres and after, it's always trending #1. Yeah. And even people that don't fuck with it is like, what is this?
I'm not gonna lie, my other favorite also is the Wanda and Vision, how it started and then how's it going. And it shows them like Vision grabbing her from her falling, and it shows them black and white of them as white people.
There's so many good ones. You can
so
scroll
many good
for
ones.
days on this shit.
Hell yeah. So we getting close to the end of the show.
Yeah,
so we
yeah.
gotta tell you what you should check it out, because it's check it out.
Yo,
and
check it out.
if you already watched it, you don't need to check out anything, but you should definitely go to YouTube to the Escaping Network's page and listen to our Scarlet Site series and listen to us as we break down each episode, and you can see how we generally grow and develop our theories about the season and see where it led us to.
The rest of them should be up by the time this episode is.
Hells yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and with that being said, that's going to be another episode of Yo, Where the Captions At. And as always, make sure you guys follow us on all the social media platforms that we're on. Like I just said, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Follow me on YouTube, Instagram, and Snapchat, as well as Kels for Show. Ross, anything you want to say to the people?
Y'all can follow me on the Snap of the Chaps with Roscoe Tankoya. I might be getting back on the Twitter sphere, but yeah.
Daniel, anything you want to say to the Captioneers out there before we get out?
Fucking love being here as your guys' technician, and anytime I'm a guest, it's always a fucking pleasure. I guess if I could plug one thing, it'd be Legion on FX, because that dude affects reality too. It's Professor X's son. God damn, what a great show. Watch it.
Word.
Yeah, I'm on Escaping Podcast. If you listen to Yo, you've heard about Escaping Podcast. I'm always here with the guys. You hear my voice. And make sure you keep listening. Get more Captioneers on board.
Hell yeah, because Yo, where the Caption at and Escaping Podcast is basically like Hitman Run of Avengers with Avengers and New Avengers. You can read both. You can listen to both independently, but it works so much better when you listen to them in tandem.
You catch a little bit of each one on either.
And then like all our YouTube exclusive stuff and be a more like Avengers world. Like you get a little more of the world, pun intended. And with that being said, guys, we love you. Thank you for listening. Tell everybody you know to listen, help support the brand, and we'll be back next week for more content for you. And as always, guys, remember, be one or be nothing.
Live life and be Miss Unknown, y'all.
We out.
Peace.